This morning, Meghan Markle is enjoying a formal apology from a UK tabloid after beating it in court. She sued the Daily Mail for breaching her privacy. Let's bring in now our justice correspondent, Candace Kelly, for more. Good morning, Candace.
Good morning.
This apology was actually part of a settlement. Remind us of this backstory.
Well, this happened at a time in terms of the invasion of privacy issues that have come up, as well as the copyright issues that we're talking about here. This happened because of a letter that Meghan Markle had written to her father after she was married. This was a handwritten letter, and it was a letter that encouraged him to stop speaking to the press. Well, this particular letter ended up in the Daily Mail Sunday. And when that happened, she filed a breach of privacy lawsuit, as well as, interestingly enough, Naja, a copyright lawsuit, because this was a letter that she had written that said not only it invaded her privacy, but it was a letter that was her own intellectual property. She created it, and so by them using it in order to get money, she said that that was also a breach of her copyright. So as a result of this, they went back and forth in courts all the way up until recently, as early December. On that appeal, this particular newspaper, Associated Newspapers, they lost their appeals claim, and they were asked to pay 90% of almost $2 million in lawyers' fees for Meghan Markle, as well as issue an apology. And that apology, if you will, I'll put that in quotes, came out on Sunday, the day after Christmas. And so this is really unprecedented when we talk about the press, especially the British press.
Yeah, especially the British press. But I have to ask you, did the apology fall short because the paper didn't actually apologize?
Yeah, they didn't actually apologize. What they did was they explained the facts of the case, that she actually won her lawsuit. They provided a link to the lawsuit itself for anybody who wanted to read the lawsuit. And that was actually a stipulation in the agreement that they had to put a link to the findings as well as keep it up for a week on their online site. But they never came out and said, I am sorry, we apologize. But they did acknowledge that she won against them. And that was a part of the settlement. So they actually did fulfill that part. But those words in and of themselves, I'm sorry or I apologize, that was not in the article.
And so is this something, in your opinion, that she should come back and push for? I mean, what's the significance of having a straight out apology?
Well, I think in that regard, I think Meghan has won when she posted a response to the article and said that this really is a victory for everyone. So even though it didn't explicitly say I'm sorry, for her the acknowledgement was enough. This is what she wanted. She wanted a win, not only for her case in particular, but for anybody who came behind her. And as I just said, it's unprecedented, and this is something that I think everybody needs to pay attention to.
And so what does this mean, as it is unprecedented for publishers in the UK and even possibly here in the United States?
Yeah, what this says is that publishers, when they get information, they have to be very, very careful, as they always have, to publish information that is newsworthy. And that's the threshold that we were looking at in the courts in the UK or the United States. Is the information that is in question, is it newsworthy information? For example, had it been information that she had written about that talked about her paying, using money, taxpayers' monies in her royal role, that would be one thing. But her private letters to her father, they said that the court said that she had a level of expectation of privacy as well as a copyright infringement case that was valid. So the United States often patterns what they do off of the UK. We've always historically exchanged and understood laws that reflect and recognize each other. And so in that regard, it's something that the United States should be aware of too. Publishers who publish information that might be true, but might at the end of the day be an invasion of privacy, especially when someone like Meghan Markle, or as she says, like you or like me, has an expectation of privacy and thinks that it won't go anywhere, especially not splashed across the front page of tabloids.
And so obviously here in the United States, we don't have royalty, but we have celebrities and public figures. Can you expand on just how that might affect that genre of entertainer or public figure here in the United States more specifically?
Sure, any celebrity that has information that they think is private, Normally, when they sue, they do sue for invasion of privacy or infliction of emotional distress. I think what's interesting here is that we have this copyright claim and that information that she wrote, information that she came up with. I mean, if you write an email today, or if you write a letter today yourself, Naja, that is information that belongs to you. You own the copyright, so that if anybody wants to use it, they have to come to you for permission, or they have to come to you and maybe pay you if they want to use that letter. So I think that that's just an amazing insight about what's to come, whether you are in the United States or the United Kingdom, to look at information that you believe belongs to you and you believe should have an expectation of privacy. In the United States, the laws really mirror what's going on in the United Kingdom in terms of this level of newsworthiness, and that's something that we need to pay attention to, not only because Meghan Markle once represented the United Kingdom, but now she's here in America, and we understand that people are paying attention to her, especially publishers that are out there who, again, want to make money off of other people's lives and pitfalls.
All right. Hate what she's been through, but appreciate what she's doing for all of us, it sounds like. Candace, thank you so much.